Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be making a fall roasted tomato soup. Roasted tomato, garlic, all that jazz. So I just, sorry I'm out of breath. Goodness. Move you guys back a little bit. So I just washed off all of my tomatoes. I probably have about, what kind are these even? I don't know, I just got them from the grocery store, but they've been sitting in my refrigerator for a while, so I'm gonna cut some of the bad spots off. Tilt you guys up a little bit so that my head isn't cut off. Okay, so now I'm just gonna cut the bad spots off and then place them on this parchment lined baking sheet.
Roast them. Right now I'm just trying to get the core out. You know, you can cut it in half, skin side down, and just place them on your baking sheet. You also don't have to use fresh tomatoes, you can use canned tomatoes as well. I'm just using these because I have them. And hopefully by this time next year, I'll be using tomatoes from the garden.
So the onions have gotten some color on them. And now I'm going to turn the heat down to a low and let them continue to caramelize. You are going to want to be constantly stirring this to make sure that they don't burn. Okay, so the onions are now perfectly caramelized for this recipe. If I was using this on like burgers or sandwiches or something, I would let them go a little bit more, but for the purpose of the soup, they caramelized beautifully. And that is the perfect amount of caramelization. And I'm actually going to now add in a little bit of red wine vinegar to deglaze the pan. I just have this rice wine vinegar from Trader Joe's, and I don't want a lot of it. I'm going to turn up the heat to about medium, and I just want a little bit, like I said, to deglaze the pan and get all of those caramelized pieces of onion. And because of all the steps, that was crazy how all those onions in the beginning only made this much caramelized onion. So I'm going to turn it up to about a medium high and add in the rice wine to deglaze the pan. There we go. And now the onions are done caramelizing and I deglazed the pan. So now, I know it seems like a lot of garlic. I did probably about almost a full clove of garlic in the roasted, along with the roasted tomatoes and the bell pepper. And now I'm gonna add a little bit of grated garlic. Garlic tends to burn pretty quickly. So probably about a teaspoon of garlic. I'm just gonna let that get fragrant. And I did turn the heat back down as well. Okay, so now I have taken the roasted veggies out of the oven and it smells literally so good. So I'm gonna transfer them to this. And I'm gonna put them actually in, sorry, let's tilt you down. And I'm actually gonna transfer them in here with the caramelized onions because I want the flavors
to melt a little bit, and I'm gonna try and smash it up. These roasted beautifully. I ended up turning up the heat to 450 towards like the last 15 minutes. So these roasted for a total of about 45 minutes. Now I want to save all of the juice that's coming off and onto the parchment paper. I want all of that. Look how beautifully the peppers ended up roasting. I don't want to spill too much juice, but they roasted beautifully. As do the tomatoes. They've got some char on them, which is lovely. Woo. And the peppers just adds another element of flavor to the tomato soup. I guess it would be considered this since we are adding cream. Like I said, I'm going to use up all of this juice. That's okay.
and I'm just now smashing everything. And I've got my heat on low. Look at this piece of garlic. If I could grab it, but tastes so good. I'm going in with a masher. The charred bell peppers really adds a good flavor to this. And of course. So now I'm just gonna transfer all of the tomatoes, everything that's in my Dutch oven, into this food processor, blend it up and transfer it into this bowl. And let's do that. All of our tomatoes are now blended up, and this might be like the best tomato soup that I've ever made. I'll try and do a blog post. I know I always say that, but I literally am so busy with school that I don't have time to just sit and write a blog post like I used to. So now we're just transferring all of this back into our stock pot back into our Dutch oven, and we've got it over a medium heat. I'm gonna get every last last drop of this goodness. And it's so good, and this is before any of the broth is added in, before any of the cream. Roasting those peppers really brings out the sweetness of the tomatoes. Roasting the tomatoes and the peppers, sorry, brings out the sweetness of those tomatoes. It's so good. Literally delicious, so sweet and good. And now I just got this chicken broth from Trader Joe's. Doesn't want to focus, but this is just organic free range chicken broth, low fat, low calorie, gluten free. Who cares about all that? And I'm going to add probably 2 cups of this. You want to add in your broth depending on how thick you want your soup base. And I like this to be a little bit thinner because I am going to be adding, let me shake this up first. I am going to be adding heavy cream. So I'm probably adding 2 cups, and this is a 32 ounce container. Such a beautiful orange color. It's so pretty. That is so good. So good. I'm gonna add some salt. Give that a stir. You guys can see how liquidy this is. It's gonna get really thick once it continues to cook. And of course when I add in the heavy cream. And you want to add in your basil last, because if you add it in too early, it can actually become bitter. So let's taste it before I add in my basil. Needs a little more salt. I just have this basil plant. I don't know how many I'm going to add in here. Basil always smells so good. Now I'm just adding in some dried oregano. You don't want this to taste like marinara sauce, so be careful with the Italian seasonings. You only want to add a little bit, or to your flavor palette, however you like it, but I'm only adding not even 1/4 teaspoon. I just want that tiny little hint of oregano, but I don't want it to overpower my soup and become a marinara sauce. And you can also add in things like Parmesan cheese, whatever you want to add. It's very hot. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit more soup in here and blend that with my heavy cream, because I don't want my heavy cream to curdle on me. And I'm actually gonna turn the heat off. Okay. Our tomato soup is officially done. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you make it. Like I said, I will try my hardest to do a blog post on it, but if not, I'm just gonna leave the recipe in the description like I always do. So if you want to know the ingredients and stuff, just look in the description box and then follow the steps that I've done in this video. I'm gonna do one last taste test, see if it needs some more salt or pepper. It's perfectly good on the sweetness. Roasting that, roasting the tomatoes and peppers and stuff really brought out a lot of the sugars. And then of course with the caramelized onions, so it's perfectly sweet. That might be the best tomato soup I've ever made.